Good morning, everybody. It's kind of early. We give everybody a chance to come on in. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, brother. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. You still on your walk this morning? Good morning. See, I got my coffee this morning. It's not as nippy outside today as it was the other day. But I got on my sweatshirt because it's still a tiny bit chilly. It's going to warm up a little bit later. How young are you today? What, like 44? I realized I forgot to fill one last of these long containers. So, good morning. Thank you, everybody. 27, you 27 times two. No, that's not even times two. I'm gonna let you go with 27 today. Good morning. So I'm gonna start the stream. Start doing what I'm doing. I'm on a tiny bit of a time crunch today. I have to go to the job that pays me as much as I would like for gardening to pay me. It doesn't. So today I'm gonna start off inside, try to go outside. I have some plants. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Farmer Chaz. I'm from South Carolina, living in New Jersey. So today I'm gonna finish off some of the seed starting indoors, and then we're gonna navigate outside. I don't want to put seeds in the ground outside yet. I want to top off some of my garden in the back with some refreshed soil so that when I plant, they have a better survival rate. But it's early this morning, so thank everybody for coming in. If you're new to the channel, come in, drop a like, and subscribe. We're going to get started in a little bit. I have here one of the long garden containers that has holes on the end that I want to... Oh, look, see? This is why we can't have nice things. There's a squirrel hopping up on my shed out there, and I'm almost certain that it wants to hop into my plant. If it does, I'll turn the camera so you can see why sometimes I can't have nice things. So again, if you're new to the channel, hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe so you can get notifications every time I go live again. And if you have any questions while I'm doing anything today, or any questions about anything gardening in general that I may know the answer to, put it in the chat. I'll be sure to answer it on the live stream this morning. I like to be kind of interactive with everybody. So like I said, hit that thumbs up and make sure you ask any questions. I hope you enjoy the lives. I'm kind of distracted because I want to see what this squirrel is going to do over here. Hopefully it just jumps in my neighbor's yard. So this morning, well, earlier this weekend, I had bought different garden soils to yep. So I'm gonna show you the squirrel. I'm sorry, you guys. I can't take it. This squirrel is like, they pick on me and they jump into my bushes. Oh, he saw me coming and he ran away. So they've been jumping down into my tomato bush, taking a bite and tossing the tomatoes down on the ground. It's a pet peeve of mine. It makes me very, very frustrated. So I was gonna go scare them off, but I don't want y'all to see me acting like a crazy person on the stream this morning. So I won't run outside. You won't get to see that show this morning. So like I was saying, I bought different gardening potting soils because I want to see which potting soil grows the best for where I am. So I have pots on the outside. If you go back to the earlier stream, I think it's seeding containers or something like that, and see that 3 different types of potting soil. So the one that I've been putting in these long pots is the Kellogg's, and I got pretty good germination from it. So I'm pretty happy about it. And let me toss on some gloves so I can just go ahead and start filling this this pot here with garden soil. Well, not garden soil, potting soil this morning. You know what? I should probably move my coffee because I don't want to be drinking dirt this morning. And I'll try to bend the camera down so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Here we go. So, and the bag is kind of heavy, so I have it sitting in one of my little chairs here. But yeah, so this is like a potting mix, the organic kind. And then I noticed in last stream that a lot of people were asking me questions about, or even in some of my videos, what kind of fertilizer I use. So while we're on the porch today, I'm going to show you some of the fertilizer I use. There's no brand in particular that I'm partial to. What's so funny, Rich? Why are you laughing today? Today should be a good day for you, everybody. If you didn't hear me before, today is my big brother's birthday. So if you're in the chat and you could type him happy birthday. He's saying that he is 27 years old today. I'm going to say that I'm older than 27 and he's my older brother, so you could do the math. His math ain't mathing this morning. So if you could type in the chat, just tell my big brother happy birthday. He's our lucky moderator for the morning. I don't think he thinks he's lucky because he thinks it's kind of early to be up gardening. Funny, right? How your math isn't mathing. We're going to go back to grade school this morning. So I'm filling this this container with potting soil. We discussed before that you can't just put garden soil in here. It's a little bit too thick for potted plants and potted seeds. Seeds find a hard time coming up. Yeah, it's definitely early. Seeds find a hard time coming up in garden soil, and you can't really put soil from your yard in pots because it's just not, it's, you know, you don't have good results. So just trying to fill it as best I can without making too much of a mess for me to sweep up back here. So what are you gonna do for your day, Rich? You just gonna hang out today? I know you're not working today. You're not gonna do like the rest of us. A lot of kids up here where I'm at start school today. Your niece, my daughter doesn't start school today, but a lot of kids up here do. So it depends on the weather. Is it supposed to rain there today? So I am trying to fill up this pot as much as I can. And all right, I think that might be it. Let me just spread it out, kind of pack it down a little bit. I don't want it to be too fluffy. The reason why I don't want it to be too fluffy is because as it rains and stuff, it's gonna dampen it down anyway. So let me just add one more and then get this out of my way. Okay. Some on this side. All right. So I got the good morning, Scoop. How are you? Can't believe you. Well, you're an early riser, so you're. Scoob, you interested in gardening? I didn't think so, but thank you for supporting the stream this morning. I take off these gloves here, and thumbs up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me move this chair out of the way. All right, so this morning in this potted plant, you're at work? Oh yeah, the kids start back school today. So good luck, you and the kids and all the kids going to school today. I hope you have a very successful year. Where are they? Okay. So I hope you have a very successful year, and hey, keep those kids in order, which I know you will. Coach Scoob over there, you coach basketball and softball, right? And you're a PE teacher, I think. So, yeah, I am in this pot going to plant in some tatsoi mustards. So they're supposed to be very cold hardy. Hopefully they are. I'm going to put it in this pot just because I've seen the pots outdoors. Seeds are germinating in these very good. Before I even start this morning, I'm going to put in the label for these and the date. Just so that we know exactly what we have this morning. So this is like an Asian type of mustard. I hope it's kind of sweet. I think people make soups with it. What's today? 9/2. Hey, School, today is Show Nuff's birthday. He's in the chat being my moderator this morning. Wishing him a happy birthday. All right. So I have my label all together. Put that in there. And what I'm going to do is, like I did before, if you saw me before, I planted out some Asian cabbages. I used the zigzag method to plant in a lot of the plants from before. So I like the way that looks. So I'm going to pretty much do it again. And hope that they come up. I've never grown tatsoi mustards before, so hopefully they do good. So I'm going to just take the marker. I'm not going to bury them too deep. I'm going to put in my zigzags here and then cover them back up with my bare hands. Most of you know I don't like to get soil under my nails, but it's just easier if I just do it with my hands this morning. So but I'm not putting them as far apart as the cabbages because mustards, I don't think they grow as big, some of them. If these do, then I'll know for next time. So put in my little zigzags here. And then I'll put one at the end. It may not survive, but I'm going to try it anyway. So the seeds here, if you're new to the channel, please go in and subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button, drop a like. So these seeds look just like the collard green seeds. They're pretty small for the purpose. And I know that these germinate, so I'm going to try not to, no gloves. I'm going to try not to drop as many seeds. They're very, very tiny, so I'm just going to 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. So you see me counting off so I don't overseed and waste my seeds. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. How's your walk this morning, Rashawn? How long are you gonna walk for? 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3. And then one more. 1, 2, 3. All right, what I do with the seed pack? All right, so just toss these back in the seed pack. And I am gonna put gloves to cover them over So I'm just gonna just lightly cover them over, and then I'm gonna move this out of the way because I want to talk about fertilizers for a little bit. So a lot of people ask me in my videos, and I find the fertilizers. A lot of you guys hear me talk about the NPK based off of what the plants need. So we're going into fall, and for most of my fall veggies, what I care about is what I care about mostly is the leaf growth for the most part, not necessarily like a fruit that comes out on the veggie. So let me just put this off to the side. So let me just start here. So I'm gonna just bring over Good Morning Eyes. I'm going to bring over a few fertilizers that I use, and then I'm going to talk about each one and what I would use it for. So I use this one. I use this one. I use this one, this one. So I have like, as you can see, a lot of different fertilizers. And I use this one. Okay. So, hi. Oz Davis, good morning. How are you? So let me just take a sip of my coffee here. So this morning, let's just go over some of the fertilizers that I use. And fertilizer pretty much helps your plant grow stronger, helps keep the nutrients in for whatever deficiency you may have in your garden. So before I even start my spring planting and I put compost down in my garden, one of the things that I do is as I'm putting the compost down, I also sprinkle down some fertilizer to like prep my beds for like great growth, right? So I'm thinking like a lot of people say, oh my God, your plants are so healthy. It's because not only do I put compost, I also put fertilizer down when I first start. So the first fertilizer that I use, and it's not necessarily a brand, the brand that I'm more interested in, the thing that I'm most interested in when I put down fertilizer is the NPK levels. So you'll see this one is 10, 10, 10, and I put any fertilizer, doesn't matter the brand, that has 10, 10, 10 NPK levels. So, you could put these down on flowers, you could put them down on edible plants. It really doesn't matter, but you just want to make sure that you have a well-balanced fertilizer in your soil, okay? So this is the first one that I start out with on a growing season. I may or may not put this in the garden beds itself before I start doing my fall planting. So this is number one. Okay. And then once my plants start to flower and I see the fruits coming on my plants, one of the things that I do is they say that once your fruits start flowering, you're more you're more concerned with the flowering and the fruit of the plant. So you don't need, the nitrogen is mainly for the leaves. You don't really need a lot of nitrogen on the plants when they're like super duper healthy. You'll have like an overabundance of foliage. So then the next thing I do is I give it no nitrogen, and then the P and the K is 10 and 10 at the end. So I use this, and you could buy it at any garden center. I got this from Home Depot. I'm not paid to, advertise for any of these peoples. So, this is for, to promote root growth and made to use on all flowering plants. So like I said, if you see your plants have flowers and they're about to fruit, you want to, give them a good boost, right? So if you're in a climate where I am and it's a little bipolar here, I don't know how long it's going to be hot or cold. So I want to, for the end of the season, give them a boost so that they can produce as much as they can before it gets too cold and knocks out my plants. So this is one. All right. So, most of you know that I had issues with my cucumbers. They were, the leaves were yellowing and dying and stuff like that. And they were kind of fruiting, but not really. So here's what I call the emergency fertilizer. When the leaves aren't doing good at all, of course, we want to go back to the nitrogen level being higher. And this nitrogen level is a 9, but it still has a little bit of, P and a K to make sure it's doing great. So if you notice, and I may take you outside to see my cucumbers, this is actually work. It's called Reviver X. I got this from the MI Gardener website. So, I buy a lot of MI Gardener seeds. Again, I'm not paid for any of this content. I'm not promoting him. I'm just simply telling you what I use. So yeah, this has a 911. So this 911, like emergency help. So they named it and formulated it, pretty good. And this is my first season using this, and so far so good. And my plants are doing really good. My cucumber plants are doing really good. I see a lot of them out there that I need to go out and clip for the day, just to make sure that they don't overgrow. So this is from MR Gardener, and it's called 911 Reviver X Emergency Fertilizer. So this is this one. Now, the next fertilizer smells really, really, really bad. And those of regular gardeners know that it smells like fish, and it's just stinky, but I use it, right? And this is what I mainly use on my fall greens. It's very, very thick. I may need to go in and buy some more because it's just, cut her a check. I know. So this is the Alaska Fish Fertilizer 511 NPK. It works. I've been using it in my garden for years. I know a lot of other gardeners that use it. So the Alaska 511 fertilizer. I think Fox Farm also sells a fertilizer like this. You can find it on Amazon, Home Depot, wherever. But I also buy this for the fall gardening season. I do need to refresh because you can see this bottle is kind of like faded out from the label being in the sun, but 100% works on green plants and foliage for like your collard greens, your kale, any of your fall plants. Even sometimes your spring plants, people put this on, but a good warning for you, this stuff stinks, but it works. So sometimes you just have to deal with it, right? So this is the Alaska Fish Fertilizer NPK of 511. Use it on my fall plants, okay? Okay. And I almost forgot one, but I'll do this one last. And there's another one that I can't find, but it's okay. So this one right here is just a balanced fertilizer. I use it during the season, so you'll notice that during my gardening season, I may go in and just, I may go in and simply dig what I call fertilizer trenches for my plants. And this is just because, like I said, I fertilize in the beginning of the gardening season, and throughout the gardening season, you need to make sure that your plants have enough nutrients and everything. So I'll go in and I'll dig out some what I call fertilizer trenches, a few inches or so away from the roots. And as long as you put the fertilizer in, cover it back, and then water it in, it'll like pretty much, it's granular, so it'll spread. I don't want to use this with my hands. So because it's granular, it's like a slow release type of it's a slow release type of fertilizer. So as you water it, the fertilizer nutrients will release within the soil. So if you look here, it's like granular. I don't know if you can see it. So it's very granular, whereas the water soluble one, the liquids, you pour it in water and then you water it into your garden, and that's more immediate. So the question in the chat is, what's the average cost of fertilizer? You could find some on sale. It could cost you anywhere from $10 to $30. My big bag over there cost me about, but it's a really huge bag, cost me about $40. So It really depends on if you found them on sale. Different fertilizers cost different prices. So I've bought fertilizer like a small bottle that's cost like $15, but I've also bought like a small bottle that costs $10. So it kind of varies depending on what it's for. Um, so there's that. And then this one right here is a balanced one. So this NPK is a 344, so it's a little bit lower, but it's balanced out in terms of the NPK. So you can go in and fertilize your plants, especially your spring and summer plants. You want to fertilize it to make sure that they have enough organic matter and the nutrients that they need. Another person asked me one time, how often do I fertilize my garden? For me, it depends on what my plants need. So when I fertilize my garden, I could fertilize every 2 to 3 weeks, right? I put fertilizer in my garden and I water it in. However, if I notice that some of my plants are suffering, so for example, the cucumber plants, when I use the emergency 911 fertilizer, I was fertilizing them with the nitrogen every 2 days because that's what the back of the bottle says. So one of the things that you want to also pay attention to is when you buy these fertilizers, make sure you read the labels, because the labels will tell you how much fertilizer, when to fertilize, and then you can also gauge your plant and your season to see what your plants need. If you feel like it needs it a little bit sooner, give it to them a little bit sooner. Gardening can be very experimental, so you just got to make sure that you are doing what you need to do for your plants, because at the end of the day, you're the one that has to go in and harvest. And if you have no harvest because you didn't take care of your plants, that kind of falls on you. So as I say before, plants are as good as you are to them. As good as you are to them, they're good to you. So if you fertilize them and you treat them well, they'll treat you well and give you a good harvest. So, and then one of the other fertilizers that I use, and I've used the Dr. Earth brand a lot. Like I said, you can buy it on Amazon, Home Depot, any garden center, is the fishbone meal. And this fishbone meal is for, it's excellent for like flower growth when you want your plants to flower. And it's kind of like grainy. It stinks as well. Okay. I'll answer that question in a minute, but I want to just kind of show you what, I took a whiff of that fertilizer and man, it was stinking. So, and I should have known because it's fish bone meal, and I think it's just like it's very, I don't know if you can see, it's like very grainy. I don't want to get any of this on my hands without the gloves on because it stinks real bad. So the question is, do you always need the best brand of fertilizer, or would you just non-name brand, would non-name brand work? In my personal opinion, name brand does not matter. So Black Cow I don't know if they sell a fertilizer. They sell Compost Rich. I keep telling you that. But name brand versus not, some people stick to main name brands. I don't know if they stick to the name brand because they are advertising for them or the people send them fertilizer. I have not had any companies send me any free fertilizers, because if they did, I probably would use it often because it's free. But I don't think the name brand works. I think what matters the most is the NPK levels on the and as long as it's a notable name, not a notable name brand, but a brand that is proven to have worked. So like, I wouldn't just buy any no frills fertilizer just because, right? Because it's not been tested. If it doesn't have any good reviews, if you notice that no gardeners ever use it, like, I wouldn't buy that. But that's just NPK. You got to go back to your periodic table. I think it's nitrogen, potassium, is it calcium, NPK? What does the P and the K stand for? Wait a minute. Yeah, I think, no, phosphorus, my bad. So nitrogen, phosphorus, and I just said it, potassium. So that's your NPK. And a lot of plants need that. So you'll notice also that a lot of home remedies for like pepper plants and tomato plants, you'll see people put like Epsom salt. I've never tried that, just because, not that I'm too lazy, but I just haven't tried it. You'll notice that a lot of people use like compost, and in their compost they put like banana peels and lettuce and things like that to make the compost, because that gets NPK. A lot of people test their soils to see what they need in their soil. So that's the thing about fertilizing and plant growth and knowing what your plants need. One of the things that I'm going to do, and surprisingly to a lot of gardeners, I've never tested my soil levels. So that's one of the things I plan on doing next season, just because I'm curious, not because I think I need to, but just because I'm curious. So again, make sure that you're buying the best fertilizer that you need for you, and pay attention to your plants. Let me turn these squirrels this morning. Now I know what time they come out. So one morning I'm just going to sit out here and wait for the squirrels and have rocks and throw at them, because I don't like when they jump inside my bushes. And I think they see me on the sun porch, so they're waiting for me to go in so they can jump in my bushes and take a bite of a tomato and toss it on the ground. Really pisses me off. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, please come in, subscribe, and like, and hit me, show me a little thumbs up, show me some love this morning, some reactions. If you have any questions, please make sure you put them in the chat. What I'm going to do next is, I had something happen to my seedlings that I didn't think I was going to happen, because I did disinfect my my trays really well, but I think it's really on the sun porch. It gets really hot if we don't have the doors open with open flow. So a few of my seedlings, to be fully transparent, a few of my seedlings didn't make it, but some of them are going really strong. And the only reason why I haven't thinned out my seedlings is because I want them to get their third and fourth leaf. But I also think when I went on vacation, they got a little bit too moist. My husband watered them, and whenever he watered them, he didn't pour the extra water out of the bottom of the tray, so they were sitting in water for long periods of time, which is okay, because I still have enough seedlings to do what I need to do for the season. It happens, and then you just go with it. What I'm going to do now is, before I even start, I noticed that my battery on my device, my gimbal, is low. I don't know where the other, oh, here it is. I'm going to switch out my device so I can carry you around without the phone dying. So like I said, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me in the chat. Rich, you said you slept in science class? I did too, brother. I did too. So let me just switch devices this morning. Glad that everyone is joining me this morning. Okay, so here we go. All switched over. All right, got to remind myself to charge up. So what we're going to do now is go outside for a little. I'm going to put a little bit of seeds in my pocket. Actually, I'm not. Like I said, I want to refresh my soil. I'll show you the squirrels. Yeah, so good morning, Jason. Good morning, Dr. J, Mr. J. So I understand that the squirrels, so I'm in their habitat, right? So they come in and they eat. I used to have I had a neighbor that lived 2 houses over. He had a huge garden and he planted peanuts. So he's since moved. Statman, it's Rich Black Man's birthday this morning, so make sure you go in the chat and wish him a happy birthday. Everybody, if you're watching this morning, my moderator is my older brother, my big brother, and it's his birthday today. He claims he's 27, but I'm older than 27, and he's my older brother, so think about the math. His math ain't mathing this morning. But anyway, so my neighbor used to grow peanuts, and so what they did when they moved is they pretty much left their garden, but I'm almost certain that the squirrels go over, they dig up the old peanuts from when he lived there. And what I've been noticing is I've been seeing peanut shells all in the soil of my garden. So they're digging to hide the food for next season. So that's what the squirrels are doing. They're going in and they're digging. But not only are they digging, though, they're taking big bites out of my stuff and throwing it on the ground. So that's kind of wasteful, but you're right. It's Thanksgiving in my garden every day with the exception of the garden enclosure. And that's simply because they can't get in there. Like, they crawl on top of it sometimes, but they haven't figured out how to get in there yet. I'm very grateful that they don't know how to get into my garden enclosure. So let's just go outside for a minute. Well, before we go outside, I will show you my my seedlings. So some of them I have on the lights still. And then I'm going to point out, just move some stuff over here. I'm going to pretty much point out what happened to them. So you'll see that I was very excited. Let me just move over one of these lights here. So if you look here, right? So there was dampening off, they died. But these dwarf Siberian kales, they didn't actually do well. And I think that the seeds were just simply old. But I do have like 1 and 2 pretty much thriving. So I'm going to, give them extra attention and care. And here you see that they're doing really good, right? But you did have one over here that pretty much died. And if I, mess with them a little bit, you see they're pretty strong. Yeah, I keep my eyes on the squirrels, Jason. Maybe you could, I don't know if I could see if I could find some, and then I'll switch the camera over to them so you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But you see here, these are doing pretty good. But if you look here, one of them kind of like died out. So I don't think it was due to bacteria, and just based off of, I guess, like sometimes water causes mold. Based off of this, I think it was just maybe it was watered a little bit too much. And the reason why I don't think an owl will work. So Rich is asking, can I put an owl out here? These squirrels out here don't care about these owls. I don't think that'll work at all. So the reason why I have these lights so close is because, and I have them on a timer. So at night, the lights go off so that the plants recognize darkness from daylight. And then I'm kind of short, so I'm going to try to show you this. But the ones up top, they're doing really good. I don't have lights on these at all because I have them at the top of the rack here. So I keep them facing the sun. And what I do is I flip around the tray so that they get equal amount of sun. So the front ones and the back ones. And then these right here, they didn't come up at all, and I think it's because they were old seeds. So I'm going to take out these labels and maybe plant something different in there. So those were broccoli seeds. And since then, I have actually purchased some additional seeds. So that's pretty good. The additional seeds that I purchased, I'm probably going to put in those pots. You'll see that in terms of seeds, this season, I'm using the M.I. Gardner seeds. Prior season, I've used this So Right seed. So I try out different seeds to see, which seeds are good, which seeds are bad. So for this season, I'm going to put out these Waltham 29 broccoli seeds. I just bought these, so they should germinate very well. If they don't germinate very well, me and Amazon are going to have a problem because I'm going to leave a review about these seeds. So they germinate in 70-degree weather, so we've been having a lot of that lately. So I'm pretty much going to put these out in the garden. Once I refresh my beds, I'm going to direct sow them. In the days to germination, they should germinate in about a week, 5 to 10 days, so a little over a week. So yeah, let's go out in the garden for a little bit. I should take my basket and some shears because I'm going to show you my my cucumbers. Some dirt in this basket. I'm going to show you my cucumbers, and I might have to bring something over to prop you up. Oh, before I go out, so sometime this week when I have time, I'm going to start some more seeds indoors in the trays. Yeah, those were the ones that popped out in 2 days. The reason why they popped out in 2 days is because they were very moist. We had the doors closed on the sun porch, so because of the heat, they germinated super, super fast. It's no problem that they germinated in 2 days. It's just that whenever I left, they were just overwatered and the temperature wasn't controlled as if I was here. So it's completely fine, and I'm still going to get a ton of plants out of those seedlings over there. So one of the things that I showed you guys when I did the first seed starting, right, was that I had these seed blocks, and this is what I use for my seedlings when I do them in trays. So I started some water to boil inside, and I want to pretty much show you what happens with the blocks when you soak them with hot boiling water. So you know the block is very condensed, and before I was using cocoa core, but you know I mix it up sometimes. This is just simply a burpee seed starting mix. And where's the garbage? So it's a burpee seed starting mix, and when I put some hot boiling water on here, it's gonna expand. So let me just go get the water. It should be boiling by now. 1 second. So, all right, so we have the hot boiling water, and let me just bend the phone down so you can kind of see it expand a little bit. I'm not going to stick my hand in here and help it out at all today because I don't want to be burnt. So, you know, you just pour it on there. You'll see the brick expand a little and break up. And I'll just take one of my hand rakes, right? Ooh, that's hot. I'm going to take one of my hand rakes and finish breaking it up. And I'll probably need another full pot of boiling water for it to be completely done. So I'll put on another pot before I leave and break it up some more so that when I get home from work later, everything will be down. Where's my hand rake? 1 second. Okay, so if I just use my hand rake here, you'll see that it's kind of like breaking up. Even at the bottom, you see it's like coming apart. So I'll put another bottle of water up there so that I can get another full container of, see how it's breaking up? But you have to put hot boiling water on it. And the reason why you want to put hot boiling water is because you want to make sure that if it has any germs, the hot boiling water will pretty much kill it. And so that's how I expand the soil. So I'm going to just put the top on that. Yeah, so that's how I did my seeding. My coffee got cold. So yeah, if anybody has any questions in the chat, please, please, please ask them before I take you outside, because sometimes when I go outside with the camera, I can't see the questions come in as fast. So if you have any, let's get those in before I take a walk outside. Just 1 second here. Just gotta fix something here. And hopefully this morning you learned a little bit about the fertilizers that I use. It's not a science. I'm not one of those people who, I'm gonna say, not that I'm not a professional, but I'm not the expert on fertilizer. I just know what I use, and I know what I used that worked over the seasons. So do I need gloves? Oh, let me grab my basket. So I'm gonna grab a basket and some shears. So I'm gonna go out and harvest a little bit this morning. I'm gonna talk about some things in my garden this morning. No, I'm not gonna gatekeep. So what I found is, in my personal opinion, I feel like the garden community, we're sharers. So if it works for me, I hope it works for you. And I hope that whenever other people are gardening, good morning. I don't even know how to say your name, but good morning, Yashwat. Good morning. Hi, how are you? If you're a first-time channel viewer, please make sure you go in and drop a like and subscribe. And turn on your bell notifications so that you can get notifications going forward. So I'll show you. Someone asked about my hibiscus. Yash is fine. Good morning, Yash. How are you? Thanks for joining. I'm going to show you the plants that we planted the other day. So let me just, and surprisingly, somebody knock on some wood, the squirrels have not dug into these pots. So you'll see that they're pretty moist. I have them sitting on the back side of the garden. Thank you very much for saying you love my place. So here's the back side of the sun porch. You'll see that I have on this side is the Vigoro gardening soil. You'll see it has a lot of perlite in it. And then here's my basil. I have to come in and trim it. Looks like something's kind of eating it a little bit. And if anybody has any recommendations of what all I can make with this basil, please let me know. Here's my hibiscus, right? So I've been talking about this hibiscus for a really long time. And if anybody has ever grown hibiscus, please let me know how long it's going to take these to make some flowers. I want to harvest the flowers to make tea. I have a lot of mint in the front, so I want to mix hibiscus and mint together. And then if I come back, here's the plants that we planted in the round pots with the Miracle Grow. So you can see that it doesn't have a lot of perlite and it still looks pretty good. And this is what I meant when I did zigzag. So I did zigzag in the sun porch earlier, and then I did sprinkle method back there for those mustards. So here we go. And this is what the pots look like. So I had someone ask me they can't wait to see what's in my pots. Here's what's in my pots right now. I did save some of the pots. So, and the reason why I saved some of the pots is because, and as you can see, I have a lot of potting soil left, but I'll save some of the pots. And for this pot, I'm going to clean it off. You see it has a lot of, I guess, growth on the outside of this cloth pot. I'm going to clean it out because what I want to do is add potting soil to it. And I'm going to refresh the soil in that pot, and I'm going to try to overwinter some of my pepper plants that are inside. So before I have to go in and get ready for work this morning, do I have any pets? I don't have any pets. Well, we have a fish, and I don't know if that counts as an outdoor. It doesn't count as an outdoor pet. So yeah, the bees are out this morning, so I got to be careful because don't want to get stung. But so one of the main reasons why we came outside this morning is because I want to harvest a little bit. So I'm going to sit the phone down and harvest a little bit. But I wanted to show you guys, remember when I was talking about that 911 emergency fertilizer? So let me just show you this cucumber plant. And oh, yeah, well, you're right. If I had to say I had a plant that was a plant that was my pet, is going to be my Carolina Reaper plants. I'll take you in to see that in a minute. I noticed that yesterday some of them are starting to turn red. So I got super excited, which means, what does that mean, Rich? Hot sauce, right? And Rich can tell you all about the hot sauce in chat. He tried it once and then he said that I tried to kill him. But I think that's because he doesn't like spicy food, right? So let me just show you. All right. So this plant, if you go back and you look at some of my older videos, the leaves were all yellow and they were dying. So you'll see one here. All the leaves were like this. And then I put the 911 fertilizer. And as you go up, look at the growth of this plant now. So it's doing spectacular. So I'm going to say that that particular fertilizer works. And I even have cucumbers to pick out this morning, so I'm going to sit the phone down in a few minutes and pick these. I'm going to leave some of them because I want them to get a little bit bigger. I could wait till later, but because I saw these squirrels out here this morning, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to pick some of them now, just to get it all harvested in. So you love spicy food? I'm partial to spicy food. It can't be too spicy, but some of the hot sauce I make, I can't even eat it myself. A trick that someone told me is, someone asked, do I test my my hot sauce when I make it? I do test it, and a trick that I've learned to cut down the spices to sit sugar on your tongue, and it'll take the spice levels away. So Cucumbers. So this particular cucumber brand, so Yash said that cucumbers are way bigger in India. This particular cucumber is a pickling cucumber. I didn't grow like the really long big ones. I grew the small ones purposefully because my intention this season was to make pickles, but because my cucumbers didn't do well, I couldn't make any pickles. So that's why I have the smaller cucumbers this season. So that's a great observation. Normally cucumbers are bigger, but it really depends on the type of cucumber. So they're like pickling cucumbers. They're like the straight 8 cucumbers. They're the really, really long cucumbers. So cucumbers have like a lot of different species to them. So that's why these are super, super small. Okay. And yesterday I harvested a lot. The squirrels had come out and pretty much taken tomatoes off the bush. You'll see I have some on this side that I'm probably going to pick this morning and sit in the window. And I'm going to sit them in the window to let them finish ripening up. You'll see here, this is where they jumped in and like broke off some of the limbs. So these are Roma tomatoes. I make a lot of sauces for like pasta with them. So the bush is doing fairly well. You see the pollinators are out this morning. I don't know if you can see the bee there, but there are a lot of bees out here this morning. So I'm trying to be very careful because, you know, I really don't want to get stung. I don't really do well with bee stings. So while I'm harvesting some of the things in the garden this morning, I want you to, if you're new to the channel, I don't want to turn the camera this way. I'm going to turn it this way so that the sun is in my eyes and not on the screen. While I'm harvesting this morning, please go in, drop a like, and subscribe if you haven't already. So let me see if I can sit the camera down a little bit, and I'll put it up so you can see what I'm doing. I'm pretty much just going to harvest as many. Yeah, you're right. Bees are good, not wasps or hornets. So my grandmother has a fig tree, and the wasp has been getting into her figs, so she's not able to harvest a lot of her figs because of the wasp. But yeah, they're not good. So I'm just going to come in. Like I said, if you have any questions, drop it in the chat after I harvest a few things. I'm going to come back and look to see if you have any questions. I'm going to stick my hands in here and pray that I don't get stung by anything, because there are a lot of bees out this morning. So Rich, I think I know what you were talking about that other morning that you were here. Thank you, Yash, for subbing. I hope you enjoyed the content. Make sure you come back when I live stream. I'm going to talk a little bit at the end about my live streaming schedule for the fall. But let me just come in here, grab some of these tomatoes. One of these busted open as I picked it, but it's still good, so I'm just going to eat it. Go in and grab any of the tomatoes that I see are good. This one has something in it, so I'm just going to toss it here. So yeah, I try to keep on top of harvesting from this tomato bush here, because this particular tomato bush, the taste, so this particular one, the tomatoes are very, very sweet. They have a tiny bit of a tang to it, but I like them. They're like my favorite cherry tomatoes. You'll notice that they're not red, they're orange. And these are called the sun sugar cherry tomatoes. So they're very, very good, not very seedy in my opinion, and I like that part about it. So this one kind of burst. Take them out. So the question in the chat is tomato a fruit or a vegetable? In my opinion, tomatoes are a fruit. because they turn red. But in a lot of people's opinions, tomatoes are a vegetable. So it really depends on who you ask. To me, tomatoes are a fruit. It's not like sweet like a fruit, like how you have berries and stuff. But a lot of people say tomatoes are vegetables. And the main reason why I say tomato is a fruit because they do get sweet. But I'm going to Google it, and I'm going to have Google tell me if tomato is a fruit or a vegetable. I'm almost certain that tomato is a fruit. You know what? I'm actually going to put a poll question up. Rich, I don't know if you're still walking, but if you log into my account, can you put a poll question up? Is tomato a fruit or a vegetable? If you don't do it this time, I'll do it the next time. So this actually isn't a tree. So Josh is saying in her place, tomato plants are smaller. But this is an indeterminate tomato plant. Indeterminate tomato plants can grow all season long, and they grow upward. So I'm growing my plants upward. I don't grow it to where it sprawls out. And indeterminate tomato plants can get very tall. That's why I don't have it in my garden enclosure. So it's not a tree. It's actually a plant itself. Good morning, Camille. My daughter woke up. And she says good morning this morning. So good morning to everybody here. 1 second. So yeah, so it's a plant and it just grows super, super tall. So yeah, I'm gonna see if I could get any more of these tomatoes off. All right. So it's a fruit treated as a vegetable. I'm sure you Googled that for me. I appreciate it. And oh, that one fell. Come in here and take some of these off. I'm actually gonna go in. It's way taller than me, and the ones at the top I'm not gonna be able to get off, so I'm gonna have to have my husband come out and help me out a little bit later, and he's gonna grab the ones at the top. But this particular tomato plant gets taller than me every single season, and sometimes I use a step stool to come in and grab them. So what I'm also gonna do is while I'm out here is take the bottom cucumber off and leave the top ones. So you can see it's very, very short. It's a supposed to be like a pickling cucumber. I thought I saw another one in there that I could harvest now. I grabbed the one at the bottom. And I'm gonna leave the ones at the top. So, shorty queen, that's right. I'm a shorty queen and you're a shorty king. So, we have the cucumbers here, we have the tomatoes here. Let me just come over a little bit and I'll show you guys this jalapeno plant. The jalapeno has been one of the stars of the season. One of them, I'm not going to say is the star, but it's one of the stars of the season. Do I sell my produce? Sometimes I do. So the question in the chat was, do I sell my produce? You'll see that there's a little bit of darkening on this. It's because the weather's getting pretty cool at night here. But you'll see on the other side, it's full of like jalapenos. And I'll show you this one in particular. You see the corking on it? The corking pretty much means that it's ready. So this is a jalapeno that I need to get off, and there's one back here that's corking already. There's some over here that's corking. So I'm gonna go in and pick off the ones that are corking right now. The jalapenos, so homegrown or for the house. Yeah, but what I grow so much here, Yash, that I don't want it to go to waste. So whatever I can, help supply, some of my neighbors with if they eat it, or friends who want it, sometimes I'll take it to work. So do I also grow chilies? I do also grow chilies. But I have so much here that I can't eat it all. So that's why sometimes people reach out to me and I'll sell some vegetables. Sometimes, like I said, I take it to work. But what kind of chilies? So Yash is asking, do I grow chilies? What kind of chilies are you talking about? Because I do have chili peppers, and then I have the little small Thai chilies. I'll show you a picture of one. They're actually smaller than I would like for them to be, so I probably won't grow those again. Just gonna step in here and grab the corking jalapenos. So here they are. So you see the corking on them. I don't know if you can really see them from the camera. So that's how you know that they're ready. So there are quite a few cucumbers here. I meant jalapenos that I'm gonna harvest off. There's corking on this one. It's kind of small. I don't want to pick it if it's too small. So I'm looking for the bigger ones that have corking on it. So this one is about to start corking. And this one too. Okay. So I got quite a bit of jalapenos off the bush this morning. And I think, Yash, you asked me, do I have a pet plant? Time check, 11:47. I'm gonna go in, Rich, as far as time, at about 8:05, 8:10. So that's the time check. But I see how long it's been. Before I go in, let me just show you guys something that I'm super, super happy about. If you looked at any of my posts, my water, I've been drinking coffee this morning, brother. And I'm okay. Let me show you. See this rose bush? It died a few years ago and it finally came back, but check out this rose. Isn't it pretty? I love it. And then if I go up, there's another one coming on that's going to be super full, and then there's one on the back side that I can't see. It's bending over into my neighbor's yard, but check it out. Love it, right? So if you love the roses, give me a thumbs up and a subscribe so you can follow the roses. Okay. So I just had to show everybody the rose because I love roses. And is the rose a hybrid? No, I don't think so. They were here when we bought the house, and yeah, we moved it from the side of the house to the back side. I don't think it's a hybrid. It's white and pink, so at least if it's a hybrid, I don't know about it. So here's my, it's not really going to show you guys too well unless I back up a little bit. But here's my Carolina Reaper plant here. If I go over here, it's starting to turn red. And this is what it's inside of my garden enclosure. And if I come all the way out, you'll see that this is the Carolina Reaper bush, the regular Carolina Reaper, and it is tall, super tall. But the one that's probably my height, if not getting taller, if I go all the way over, is the purple Carolina Reaper bush. You see it's all the way down here, and if I go back, it's tall. I don't have anything to sit the phone on. Well, actually I do. I'll show you how tall it is. My fish, I can't show you my fish because it's in my daughter's room and I don't want to go inside. But betta fish, so it's not like one of the big fish. It's really like a kid fish. So if I pull this over, let me see if I can show you how tall this purple Reaper plant is. And I'm gonna try to stand beside it so you can get a good gauge of how tall it is. I am Farmer Chat. How tall am I? I'm 5'1". So let me just, yep, nope, not like that, like this. Okay. So let me show you how tall this purple Reaper plant is, and then I'll zoom in and show you one of the purple Reapers. So let me just go over here. You see that the plant is actually taller than I am. So that should pretty much show you how tall that plant is in particular. And if I go in, I'll show you, this might be my prize plant of the season, but I posted a picture. This is my first purple reaper. And then if I go in, I'll show you there are like more coming in. So I'm super excited. I've never had this before. So yeah. Why do I have an enclosure? So the reason why I have an enclosure is because when I first started gardening, a lot of the things that I planted, the squirrels, and we had a groundhog problem, and they were pretty much coming in and eating everything before I could get to it. So I figured to protect some of the plants, especially the ones I cared about the most, that I would build an enclosure. And so what I did this season was I put in chicken wire so that the bees and stuff could come in now. So next season I'll have like some cucumbers and other things on the inside of here. So we have groundhogs, vicious birds, squirrels. We used to have skunks and some other things. So while I'm out here, I see a few of the habaneros already. So I'm just gonna reach in here, reach under, and grab some of these habaneros. I had to crawl in here the other day, but the ones that are closed are fairly easier for me to get to, but I harvested most of them the other day. Put my hand in here. Some of the rest can wait, but as you can see, I have habaneros here. So, deer. Oh, so the other thing is we also have deer. Yash, we also have deer. So, all right. So let me go inside. I'm gonna briefly close up my garden enclosure. I'll briefly discuss my live schedule and what my intention is going forward, so that any of you that subscribed and hit that notification button, you can go in and watch me. See if I can open this door with one hand. Close the door. All right, so let me go back and close that door real quick. So I'll show you, these are the habaneros, some of the tomatoes, and then the couple of cucumbers that we got this morning. So all right. Just give me 1 second. Let me get myself together here. All right. So, all right. So the plan is, usually I go live Wednesday mornings, but school is about to start back. So got to make sure that I'm not rushing in the morning and I'm not rushing my daughter in the morning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to go live on Sunday mornings. I will schedule it out so you'll see it in your notifications. And Sunday mornings, make sure you come in with your questions. I'll show you what I'm doing. We'll take a walk in the yard and harvest whatever we can harvest. I'll show you whatever I'm planning. And come in, bring a friend. A lot of times because it's starting to get a little chilly here, we'll be inside gardening, and I'll take you outside when I start planning. I'll give you updates. So Sundays, and then at least one day during the week. So it's got to be probably like a Monday, Tuesday, kind of like today. But thank you everybody for coming in and joining me this morning. Again, I know that you're still here. Rich dropped me a little waiver notification. Y'all, today is my big brother's birthday, so make sure you tell him happy birthday in the chat. If you don't follow him, his name is Rich Black Man on YouTube and all his other platforms. So make sure you give him a shout out and you wish him happy birthday this morning. Happy birthday, brother. I hope you have a great day. And for those of you that are gardeners, I hope you have a great day gardening, have a great season gardening, and I hope to see you back to the channel soon. Check out any Oh, thank you, Ash. Make sure you check out any of the videos on the channel. It'll show you a lot of what was in the garden before and what it looked like before. It was an amazing transformation. And I hope that any of the fertilizing um, chat that we had earlier help somebody. So make sure you come in, follow me. Make sure you go back and watch some videos so you can see what the garden looked like before, because it looked dramatically different. And I hope you enjoyed the content going forward. So have a great day, everybody. Have a great morning. I don't know where everybody is, but or what time of day. So just happy gardening, everybody. And have a wonderful day. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow. And I look forward to seeing all your comments and everything going forward. Yash says he's followed me. Oh, it's evening there, so have a good night, good morning, happy afternoon, whatever it is where you are. Just hope you have a great day. And like I said, go back and check out some of the other content. I'm pretty sure you'll be surprised with some of the things that we do, and look forward to a lot of the oncoming projects. I have a project that I'm very excited about coming up. And then for those of you that have been following me, there's going to be an update on Project Nazon coming. You won't believe what you see. So good morning, everybody. Good evening, everybody, and have a great day. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow. Drop in some comments, and I'll see you soon.